Just try this in. Okay. Alright, so that works. Now put it in here. All right, and welcome. This is CTF Walkthroughs, and we're starting up another live stream here, Hackathon Live. Today we'll be going through some boxes on TryHackMe. Boxes I've never tried before, so there could be some surprises along the way. All right, so let's get right into it. Just minimize my opening slide there. Let's log into our Kali VM. All right. And let's see here. Let me stretch this down a little bit. All right, and then I'll just move my head out of the way. Oops. Okay, get set up here. And this one will just bring up so that my head isn't blocking any of the action. Okay, and we can go with one more small window. We'll just stick this one over here so we can keep a few things going on at once. Okay, so first up, we need to choose our challenge. Let's go into the search, and I want to start off with some easy boxes today. If you have any suggestions, stick them in the chat. Happy to try some new challenges that maybe you're working on and are currently stuck on. We can try to find the solution together. And if we need to, we'll take a look at some other CTF players' walkthroughs just to get some hints and some inspiration. But first, let's give it a go by ourselves. And let's try, I'll hide the ones I've already done. We'll start with easy, and we'll go with CTF style challenges. This website is TryHackMe, by the way. I'm working on completing every learning pathway so that I can master all of the basic cybersecurity skills. I've completed about, I think, 7 out of the 10 or 11 that are available. All right, let's find one. And if you do have a suggestion, make sure you stick it in the chat. We can look at the tags here also to get kind of a window into what kind of skills are tested in the CTF. All right, just bring the mic a little closer. And let me know if you have any trouble hearing or seeing me in the stream. Hacked. We could do that one. That involves some defensive packet analysis using Wireshark most likely. 2 ways to root the box. Maybe we'll try this one. It's going to involve security, Nmap, GoBuster, and pen test. Let's try this one. It should be pretty easy. All right, we'll join the room, and let's start up our machine. That's cool that there are 2 ways to solve this one, and it tells you right off the bat there. So we're going for a user and a root flag today. And let's see if I can bring this window just up so we're not missing anything. There we go. Now I can see it all. Yep, so user and root flag, start the machine. And we need to wait 1 minute here to get it up and running. So let's connect up to our VPN. And we'll do that down here today. I already have it downloaded. Oh, this one. We're also missing something here. So we'll just bring it up a notch. Perfect. So we'll do OpenVPN and use my name on the site. That's Cali Surfer, my hacker handle. We'll call this Scratch just to keep that open. And in about 17 or 16 seconds, we'll be able to access the target machine. Right now, we still don't have our target IP. There we go. So we have our target IP now. Let's start some notes, and I'll use Vim today for taking notes. And we'll make a new directory for Brooklyn 99, is it? Yeah. Brooklyn 99. And we'll just Vim into a notes.txt file. I'll put down our target IP there. And let's go ahead with some Nmap scanning and then some directory busting. So we'll call this tab Notes. We'll call this one Nmap. And let's go right ahead and we'll do a quick attack F for a fast scan. And we've got 3 things going on. Let's follow that up with a scan of all ports. So tac p tac, and we'll do a speed of 5. And we'll keep that one running in the background. But we have a few things to examine right away off the bat. So let's go into our HTTP site over here. And we get a page here. Oh, it says that we can resize the window. Does it work like it says? It does. Cool. All right, let's check the source code. I'll do Control U. Oh, and there's a clue here. Have you ever heard of steganography? Steganography is the practice of hiding information in images. So let's copy this image down. Let's see. Can we save it? Looks like save page as. We want to save that image. Let's take a look at the source code. Brooklyn 99. Here's our URL. Let's go straight to that and download the image. Here we go. Now we can save the image and let's stick it in our Brooklyn 99 folder. Now for steganography, let's check back on our Nmap. Let's see. Yep, it's chugging along. All right, so we got, just in our notes here, I'm going to write down that we got a Brooklyn99.jpg, and we're going to examine it now with steghide. Steghide is a utility. Usually it comes standard on Kali, but it's not installed, so I'll go ahead and install it. Thanks for joining me in today's stream. We're doing a new challenge that I've never faced before here, Brooklyn 99. And I'm just grabbing the steghide utility so that I can view anything that's hidden in the JPEG file here that's on the website. And in the meantime, maybe we'll just call this the steg tab. Let's go ahead and do some dir busting. I'll use the standard list with dirb. All right, and we need our IP. We grab that again from our notes. This is Vim, so the hotkey for copying a line is Control V, to put it into visual mode. And then we'll do quotations, plus, and Y for yank. And now we'll just cut and paste it into here using Control Shift and V. Okay. So now we're doing some directory busting on that tab. Okay. And momentarily we'll have StegHide up and running. So we can just monitor our Nmap scan and our dir busting here. Thanks for joining me. If you just hopped on the stream, we're working on this CTF challenge right now, Brooklyn 99. And if I refresh, it should show that we're connected to the VPN. Yep. We are. We have some hints we could look at if we need them. Dirbuster hasn't found anything yet. So I think our next course of action will be to use StegHide. I'll just make a triple hashtag to show what we're doing right now. So when we did the fast Nmap scan, there was also FTP and SSH. So let's see if we can access that FTP, maybe as an anonymous user. So I'll just do FTP and our target IP there. We're connected as root, looks like. So it says anonymous only. Let's try again. This time we'll type in anonymous and just leave the password blank, and we're connected. Let's see, there's a note here in the file. So we can just do mget and note to Jake for us to download it. Yes. And we got it. So now we can, well, we could exit, but I'm going to leave that FTP connected just in case we want to upload any files later on. All right, so I'm going to open yet another tab. We'll call this one Scratch 2. And let's see if we got that note to Jake. Yeah, we got it in our main home folder. I'm going to move that over to TryHackMe and Brooklyn 99. And I guess I need the dot there to keep the name the same. Okay, it doesn't like it. Let's put in the full path. So home, root, root, no. Right, because we're root, our home directory is not where we are currently. That's the problem. Right, let me just check where we are at the moment. Whoops. We don't want to. So PWD for present working directory. We're in the root directory, so we'll do move note to Jake, and we'll put it in, yeah, TryHackMe and Brooklyn 99. Okay, now it worked. So we'll go back into our boxes directory, and let's cat out that note to Jake. Jake, please change your password. It's too weak, and Holt will be mad if someone hacks into the 99. Okay, so we've got a weak password as user Jake. There may also be a username Holt. So probably it's going to be SSH because that's our window into the box. But let me just check and see if this note to Jake pops up at our target IP on the web server. It doesn't. Okay. Just checking to see if we could use the put command on the FTP to upload a file. Let's go ahead and try SSHing in now as Jake. Oh, and there's a from Amy. So we've got a couple of potential usernames, Amy, Holt, and Jake. Let me just make a note of that. We'll call it usernames, Amy, Jake, and Holt. And we know that Jake has a weak password. Okay, so I'm going to try now SSHing in as Jake, Jake at, and then we want our target IP. Grab that again, right here. And we can delete the HTTP : // So we'll say yes. And then for his password, let's try password. Denied. Okay. Let's try password 123. Okay. Let's try let me in. Denied. Okay. We tried a few simple passwords, but we need to do brute forcing here. Let's use Hydra today, and we'll check our syntax again. Okay, pretty simple. We want to do Hydra, tac L, Jake, and then tac P, and we can choose a word list here. So we'll use user shared, and then sec lists, and what's next? Password, and we can do common credentials, and we'll start with just the top 100. And then we want to do SSH and our target IP. Right, so we'll delete the HTTP because we're using SSH protocol now. And now it's brute forcing. I'll just copy that command over for the record to put in our notes. So we're doing an SSH brute force attack. Here's our command, and we'll monitor and see. I'll just call this tab Hydra. We'll see if anything comes through. And could not connect. Let's see, timeout. So it did try, it looks like it tried all 101 logins. So let's go to a bigger password now. We'll do top 1000. Whoops. All right, spilled a little water here. I'll be back in a flash. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had a little spillage of some bubbly water, but we are good to go now. And while I was goofing around there with spilling water, we actually cracked with our brute force attack the SSH portal, and we can see that this is Jake's password. So let's go ahead and SSH in now as Jake, and we'll just paste that password in. So we're Jake now. Oh, nothing's coming up. Let's see, where are we? we're in Jake's home directory, and there are some hidden files there. No password. So we can run the binary less. So right away, I'm going to jump over to GTFO bins and see what kind of tricks there are, hack tricks to maybe become the root user or do other fancy things that can get us privilege escalation. There should be a user password in here somewhere though. Let's also check the home directory. Yep, so we've got Amy and Holt, our other users here. See if we can peer into Holt's. Hey. So Holt has a user.txt file, and I can actually read that. For some reason, I have access. So here is our user flag. Okay. And I'm going to just drop that into our TryHackMe answer. Okay. And now we just need the root flag. Let's check. What was the hint there? Jake. Okay. What else is there? There's a nano save. That could be of interest, but we don't have access yet. Let's go into Amy's directory. See what's there. Nothing really. There's no nano.save. Okay. All right. Getting back to GTFO bins, let's check the less binary. Ah, cool. So we can do a lot of stuff. Let's see if we can actually, let's check first. Let's check and see. All right. I'm going to do sudo tac l user bin less. So we want to do an LSLA on user bin less so we can see if there's an SUID bit. There's not. But this binary has full permissions to do everything. So let's check on sudo. All right, just checking some notifications there. Let's go ahead and do this. So we want to be sudo file read sudo. If the binary is allowed to run as sudo, it does not drop elevated privileges. So we can just get a root shell basically. We can try this command now. Here, sudo less etc profile. Good. And then you want to do colon. So we're in less, and we're going to run this actually wait. We want to run exclamation point bin shell. Who am I? We are root. So we can read everything now. Let's go into Amy's folder, home Amy. And we can go probably right to our root flag. Yeah, so we got it. Here's the root flag. We rooted Brooklyn 99. Let's collect our recognition. Love it. Love it. Oh yeah, that felt good. We rooted the box pretty quickly. All right, so I think we still have time for another challenge. If you have any suggestions, stick them in the comment box. Let's go back now to our search. And we can close down these here, and we'll exit out there. We can also save our notes just for the record. Whoops. Okay. Write and quit. I'm not even going to bother to write those flags down. Cool. Well, I agree that was an easy box for sure. Let's try taking it up a notch. We'll look for a medium box that I haven't completed yet. I do want to do this regular expressions, but it's going to be tedious, so we won't do that right now. Oh yeah, let's get rid of the walkthroughs and go just for challenges right now. WordPress blog. Disk analysis. Tokyo Ghoul. You know, I want to do this Goldeneye one. I've tried it a few times and haven't ever actually finished it. Let's give it a try. All right, so we'll start up our box here. And yeah, I've already answered some questions, but I didn't finish it off. So let's give it our best try. See if we can finish off this box. It's based on Goldeneye, the James Bond movie. Also the really good Nintendo 64 shooter game was based on that same movie. Okay, so did some Nmap scanning. We found 4 ports. We'll look at the site, inspect all scripts. So we'll look at the source code. Who needs to make sure they update their default password? Boris. We already got their password, and then we can log in to a part of the site. All right. Okay, we've got our IP. Let's go ahead and run that Nmap scan again. I'll just go back a step and we'll make a new directory for Goldeneye. And let's run the fast Nmap scan on our target. We'll open up that web page as well. See if we can get to it. Okay, nothing's coming up yet. Let's check our VPN. Looks like we're still good. Shows us still connected there. Here we go. So we're on the site now. Top secret. Server identity. Navigate to Sev Home to log in. Okay, so we have a login portal, but we want to check the source code on this. Sev tac home. That should take us to the login. And let's check with Control U. We'll view the source code. Seems a little slow for some reason. Let's try again. Our Nmap scan with TACF for fast. And if you just dropped in, thanks for joining me. We're working on the Goldeneye TryHackMe challenge. This is based on the James Bond film. And here we get the login portal. We already know from a previous attempt that the username is Boris and the password is Invincible Hacker in LeetScript or ScriptKid scripting. Okay, just checking the source code behind the scenes, and there's a terminal.js that might give us some more hints. Check that. And meanwhile, let's put in Boris and Invincible Hacker. We're not going to save that. Slow. I don't know why this VM is so slow. By the way, Natalia says she can break your codes. So we have a encoded password here of some kind. I'm guessing it's without that semicolon. And we already cracked it, but I can just show you again. If we use like CyberChef, which is the Swiss Army knife of coding and encoding and decoding, let's put this in as our input, and we can search for a magic. Yeah. We'll just do a magic operation on it. And there it is, invincible hacker. So the magic function automatically finds which recipe to use to decrypt. We've got a depth of 3, and it looks like from base 85, we're doing from HTML entity. Okay. Invincible hacker. Was there an R on the end of that? There was. 3R. You know, I think it's because I chopped the semicolon. So let's try adding that back right here. And there we go. Now the R is there. So cool. So we have credentials. We have here a closed port. Let's try, we'll just put on the PN. And we'll try one more time to see what pops up. Meanwhile, here in our notes, if we can switch to the notes tab. We are in the notes tab. Let's go ahead and we'll do a vim notes.txt, and we can see some results here. Closed. It says the SSH port is closed, which it probably is true. I don't know what that WS-DAPI is, but let's go into our Vim notes and hit I for insert mode. And we've got that. We'll just write to the file so we save it. And this was from our last attempt. We don't need, we never even got into StegHide on the last box. Let me try using it. StegHide. Right, now we want SF for select stego file. And we're going to use, I'm just on the last box, I'm looking through to see if that picture that we downloaded has anything saved in there. So that was Brooklyn 99, and it was the JPEG. Okay. Doesn't like my SF tag there. Let's see. SF stego file. SF file name. Okay, let's try that again. We need extract. Okay, so StegHide extract, and then we'll do SF and TryHackMe, Brooklyn. Okay, I guess we don't need the first / Brooklyn 99 and that one. Passphrase. Okay, so we don't have the passphrase. Okay, anyway, let's go back to our current challenge. This is Goldeneye, and we just want to write down our credentials, Boris and Invincible Hacker. Whoops. Down. Just copy with Control C and Control-Shift-V for paste. Now, we also know there's a Natalia because it was mentioned in the source code over here. Natalia says she can break your codes. Security by obscurity. So there's going to be a high non-default port running an email server. Okay, so that's a clue. We want to do a full scan, a full Nmap scan to find the POP3 server. Okay, so we'll go back into this tab. We'll title it as Nmap just to keep it straight. And let's go into our directory for Goldeneye, and we'll run an Nmap scan of all ports. We'll do speed of 4 with the TAC uppercase T 4. And then let's search our IP address. And we can leave off the HTTP there. Okay, so this scan may take a little while. You can see, yeah, it's progressing kind of slowly. We can try some directory busting while we're sitting here. All right, let's kick off just a regular derb scan. And here we go. So we'll run that with the common.txt word list. And if it doesn't come up with anything, we'll choose a bigger word list and continue scanning. All right, let me move my head out of the way. All right, so we're derbing or derbusting right now. Over on Nmap, we're doing a complete scan to find a high non-standard POP3 port. And I see that we're coming up on 1 hour of live streaming, so we'll see if we can wrap this one up quickly. Navigate to login. Okay, we already logged in. We got a new hint. This is the hint right here. So we're just waiting on our Nmap results so that we can find that very high non-default port. All right, so in a minute or two, we'll have our results. We are at 58%. Let's check back on our derbusting scan. Hasn't found anything yet. This is a nostalgic CTF for me because I used to spend lots and lots of time playing Goldeneye on Nintendo 64 with some of my best friends back from high school. Okay, back to the questions on task 1. We found 4 ports. Actually, we only found how many? We only found 2 ports, and they were both closed. Let's check our hint. They want me to put the TAC uppercase P, lowercase n onto my scan. I may need to run a new one, but let's let this one finish out. And then we found our credentials there using CyberChef to decrypt this string that we found in the source code. We logged on and we got our hint. And now we're looking for that high POP3 port. That's non-standard. So it's suggesting we use Hydra now to brute force. So let's go on and do that. I'll exit out of here. Let's clear our screen and we'll use Hydra. And the only other username we have is Natalia. And so for our password, let's try using user share, seclists, passwords, common credentials. And then I like these ones, the 10 million, because you can choose to do like just the top 100. And if we don't get anything back from this, I forgot the IP, of course. Then we can hit it again. I'm going to take off the HTTP, although I think I need that in there. Let's try it again. There's no service HTTP. Most likely you mean one of the many web modules. Right, our login portal is not on the base of the website. It's what was it? Tac home. So let me add that here. Okay, now it's suggesting I do a HTTP form post. Let's try that. And then we need the actual post data. That's right. Let's check the source code here. Okay, this is all pretty standard. Okay, let's check back on our Nmap results. Oh, there we go. So we have four open ports, and I'm just going to copy and paste those to our notes. Right. And now I'm going to pop Burp Suite open so we can capture the request. Burp Suite. And we'll copy this address without the source. Okay. And we don't need to update right now. Start burp. All right, so now let's go ahead in and we'll use our proxy, open that browser. Oh yeah, it doesn't support it. Settings burp allows without a sandbox. Okay, let's try that. Settings. We want to go to burp browser, and then there's an allow somewhere. Here, allow to run without a sandbox. Okay. Looks like it's not highly recommended, but we can still do it. Okay, so here's our burp browser. We want to put in that same address. Okay, and now here's where we want to test it. So Natalia is our username, and we'll just put password in. And now we've caught the request. It's a GET request. And interesting, I don't see the password we actually put in. Where is it? Authorization. Let's forward it on, see what we get. So we get nothing back. Natalia. and we'll just say Boris is our password. We'll forward that on, and it doesn't work. Okay. So I'm unsure now why we don't see the data being entered in that request. So let's look into that a little bit more. Let's see, maybe Hydra. Let's get a hint. POP3. Ah. Are the credentials you have reusable? Right, so we need to reuse and test those credentials in all the places we might try them. So we've got SMTP, and then one of these is going to be our POP3. 55006 and 007. Let's just try connecting right up. So we'll do a netcat, and then we want to do netcat to this IP. And then we can try each port. So we'll do a 5506 and connection refused. Whoops, I was short 10. Okay, so we're getting nothing there. Let's cancel that out and let's try the other one, 55007. Ah, cool. So we're on a POP3 server now. So we can do user Boris and pass, and then we want that invincible hacker password. Let's go and grab it here. So I'm just doing a Shift V to put it in visual line mode, and then a quotation plus and Y for yank. Okay, we're still doing our dir busting. Let's see, that's our FTP. Oh, from the previous box. Okay, we'll get out of there. And let's see. Okay, here we are. So pass is invincible hacker 3. And fails. Let's try it again. Boris, pass, invincible hacker. Did it work? Authentication failed. Let me try typing it because there may have been a blank space in there. Let's try again. User, Boris, pass, invincible hacker. Authentication failed. Let's try with a different username. So we'll do user Natalia, pass, invincible hacker. Authentication failed. Let's check our notes. Natalia, Boris. It should work. Well, for now, let's exit. And I want to do exit, quit. Yeah, I want to do an nmap scan of just those two high ports now. So we've got 55006, 55006, and 55007. And our target, our target IP is right here. If you're hopping on right now to this live stream, we're working on the box called Goldeneye. You can get this on VulnHub or on TryHackMe. I'm on TryHackMe right now, but either is fine. You can download the whole box and run it locally on a VM. All right, so we got that, and this time I want to run a script scan, and we'll do, actually, let's just do attack A to run a collection of different things. This will take a little bit longer, probably. Yeah, some of these script scans take a while. Can you use another program to find other users and passwords? Maybe Hydra. What's their password? Let's find the hint. POP3. Oh, yeah, so we can Hydra on POP3 instead of trying to Hydra on this HTTP login. Let's go over to POP3. So Hydra here, and instead of going the HTTP route, let's go with POP3 as our protocol. And we need to specify the port, I believe. So let's try this : and what was that port again? We got some more results here. So both are running POP3, but the 55006 didn't actually respond when we used Netcat to listen in. So let's use this one, 55007. Back to our Hydra tab, and we'll paste that in there. And we'll use the top 100 passwords. So it's currently attacking the POP3 port on 55007. Someone asked down there, what distro are you using? This is Kali, and I'm actually using a custom port of Kali designed by the mayor. If you don't know the mayor, that's his hacker handle. He works for TCM Security. They're the ones that do the PNPT certification and others. And the mayor has some courses you can download from his own site, or used to be available through TCM, but I think they just finished offering his at least the one course on pivoting and persistence. They've discontinued, but you can still get it through his site. All right, we've done 80 tries. Let me double check that I spelled Natalia correctly. Okay, so back to here. Let's look for, Natalia, Natalya. Natalya. Yep. The only difference is that capital N. 0 found. Okay, let's go with a larger list. We'll use the 1,000 long word list. See if we can pop a password that works, a valid credential. All right. And let's see how many tries we've had. Suspicious network traffic. Boris. Let's try just one more time logging into the POP3. We'll bring up a new tab here just below as we wait on that brute force attack. Okay, so it looks like it didn't find it there. Let's go to, or actually, it's still working, Let's give it some time. Let's listen in one more time on our target. Whoops. Okay, let me grab our target IP. And we'll paste that in here with Control-Shift-V, space here, and we'll do user Let's do Boris and pass invincible hacker. Was it capitalized? It was hacker. And does it log in? We'll see. Looks like it's trying. But we've got no confirmation. Okay, failed. And let's try one more time. User Natalia pass invincible hacker. See if that works. And it's thinking about it. And it failed. Okay, so let's keep our hopes up for this brute forcing. It looks like it's going to take, or it already worked for 15 minutes, I think it is. Doesn't feel like 15 minutes has passed. Okay. What user can break Boris's codes? Natalia. We saw that in the hint. Keep enumerating users and keep attempting to obtain their passwords via dictionary attacks. Oh, Xenia. So we've got a new username here from the hint. Password. Okay. So Xenia is our next target. Let's put that down here. In Vim, you can press I to go into edit mode. Xenia. So let's test with our normal login here. If we try a user we don't think exists, will it say okay? It'll say okay. So we don't know just from the POP3 portal if usernames are actually valid. We know this is a POP3, right? It says POP3, but why is it? Huh. I'm just confused by the number of stars there. POP3. It needs a longer input there. If those creds don't seem to work, can you find another program? Maybe Hydra. What's their new password? Says check the POP3. Yeah. Let's go back to that other port and see if anything pops up there. Okay. Disconnected for inactivity. That's strange. Okay. So nothing popped up there. Okay. Let's cancel that one out. And we'll try it again here with 1,000. We don't have to worry about legality because this is just a practice vulnerable machine. Yeah, that port, even though the nmap said that it's running POP3, it appears not to be actually running it. Right? If we go back up to our script responses here, it shows that it's running SSL POP3. Here we're running POP3 Dovecot. Maybe that's what it needs here. Dovecot, D-O-V-E. It's 8 letters. 8 letters long. Huh. I know POP3 is the service, but I don't know what would be 8 letters long. What services is configured to use this port? We'll say Dovecot, POP3, POP3D. Huh. Oh, we need how many letters? 6. Strange. What can you find on this service? Keep enumerating. Okay, we haven't found Xenia yet, but we can try. Let's put her. Okay, back on our Hydra tab. Nothing there. We'll copy this, but we'll add in Xenia as the name, because the hint mentioned there's going to be a Xenia, and I remember from the movie that there was a character named Xenia or Xenia, I don't know. All right, so we'll run that, see if we can crack her password. And these answers here puzzle me. So let's dip into a walkthrough real quick. Oh, there aren't any there, but we can just Google for it. So we'll Google, let's Google the Goldeneye CTF walkthrough, find what pops up. Okay, lots of them. Let's check this one. So they're doing the version from VulnHub, but it looks like it's the same box. We got that, we cracked that, we logged in, we did Hydra. Oh, they're using a username list. We could do that as well. And they used Fast Track. T20 is probably a speed. S, that must be the port. And I for POP3. So that's a little different terminology, or syntax rather, than I was using. And they used a different word list as well. So let's try to recreate that. I'll let these two run, but let's open some new tabs. Let's see here. R to open one on this side, Control-Shift-R to open another one on the side. And here, let's try using, actually, let's first just check if we do Hydra. Let's check on those syntax options that they used. They put a capital L for a login name of usernames, a list of usernames, and then I, tac I, POP3 is supported. may just be two ways to do the same thing. So the tac I is not actually listed here. What about the T20? Also not listed. Okay, let's stick with our own syntax. But we'll switch up our word list. Let's see if we can find that fast track one. Is it in here? Actually, I'll just do a find. So tac type F, tac name, and we want to find a fast track dot text, and then we'll send the errors to a dev null byte. See if we have that list saved up on our Kali box. And we're getting these errors now. So that's not good. We don't want errors. So let's move it out just like they did in the walkthrough here. So do a tac T20 for speed. And then we just have the straight IP address. Whoops. What was it? 37. And then for the port, we're going to do a tac S and that port number. And let's see, we can do a tac I for protocol, POP3. And looks like we don't have the fast track list, so let's stick with the top 1,000. And it looks like it's working. I don't know if this is any different. We did the tac I POP3 instead of POP3 colon. Still attacking the same spot as the first time we did it. And we started getting all of these error disconnected for inactivity. I guess the only difference is it doesn't tell us that it's attacking the POP3 up there. So that may be the issue. Let's see if we get any response here. And on this one, we're checking Natalia's login. Let's do the same, but check for Xenia. Down here, we'll cancel this one out and Control A to go back to the beginning of the line. And then we'll just change the username to Xenia. So on top, we're testing for Natalia, and the bottom, Xenia. And then we still have the Boris user, so let's do that on the right here. Control A to go to the beginning of the line, Boris, and we'll do that. So we're using the top 1,000 list for all three of these attacks right now. Hello, X-Devil. Thanks for joining. Right now we're doing the Goldeneye CTF challenge on TryHackMe, but you can also get it from VulnHub and just do it for free. Here we get a few walkthrough questions. And we actually peeked at someone's walkthrough because we were getting stuck up with the syntax. Let's go down and see if we can grab if they give any answers to those questions. And they don't. All right, so I'll go back one. Let's try this other one here. And the question that we're tripping up on now is this one, the new password. We may have that in a moment. Let's see. We've got Boris on the right. So we might get, oh, and looks like we didn't get any results for Boris. So let's use a bigger password file. We'll go with the 10,000. And anything here? I wonder if the C means complete. So we could do this all in one if we just added a name list. That might actually be more efficient. but let's just switch it over on all 3 attacks to the 10,000 long password list. Pop 3. We could grab the fast track list. Does the C mean complete? It must. So nothing there with Natalia. How about here? With Xenia, looks like nothing, and nothing there too. All right, I'm gonna grab the fast track list from the website. Fast track word list. Here it is, Dirty Chai. And I'll just go to raw. Control A for select all, Control C for copy, and we'll just create a new word list right now. Let's go into user share word lists, and yep, we can put it right here. Fast track dot text, and I for insert. Control Shift V to paste. Escape right quit. WQ, and let's see. Now we have our fast track word list. Let's create a word list of the 3 usernames so we can keep it all on one portal. We'll do name list. Actually, let's go back over to our root THM and then Goldeneye. And we'll just make a name list or names.txt, and we'll put on Boris, Natalia, and Xenia. I think that's how you spell it. Was I right? Let's see. We're still attacking Boris. That's going to be Natalia and Xenia. And then escape WQ for write and quit. And we'll try a new attack now with fast track. And so this time, instead of using this word list, let's bring it back to share word lists and then fast track. And over here, we want to change from just using Xenia to capital L for a word list of usernames. And from our current directory, we'll use the users.txt, I believe it is. Let's see. Names, that's right, names.txt. Okay, so with this one portal now, we're checking for all 3 usernames. Let's go ahead and get rid of the portals we don't need. Okay. So we've just got our one attack going on here, but we're checking for all of the usernames. I am going to copy this command back to my notes just so I have it for reference. So let's jump back into our notes, and we'll restore that, recover. Okay. Now back down here, let's just make a note about our Hydra brute force pop 3, and we'll just jot that command down here so we have it. Okay, and let's see what we get. We have 2 notes now. Close this one out. Let's title our tab correctly. Derb just found an index. We're not in FTP or Hydra anymore. See, that was it. And it didn't find anything. Okay, let's go to, that's confusing. Let's try one more time. Attacking pop 3, that looks like the correct address. Fast track, though, isn't pulling anything down. Let's check on this one, on this write-up. They did a Nikto scan to look for web vulnerabilities. That seems like a smart idea. They did a derb. They found the same things. Index. Goldeneye. Admin server. So yeah, we knew all of this. Okay. SeverniaStation.com. I don't think we saw that detail there. Okay, so we already did that. We found the string, we decoded it, we logged in as Boris, we got the new hint. We found the POP3 portal, Hydra and password attack. Whoa, looks like they're writing in Turkish. All right, so we're doing the same attack there. Did we forget to put Boris in? Let's cat the names.txt. No, we got Boris. Secret 1 exclamation point should be the answer there. Why are we not pulling that down? Let's cat user share word lists fast track, and then we'll pipe that to a grep of secret 1 exclamation. It is in that list, so if that's still the password, it should work. But it didn't pull it down here with our search, with our brute force rather. So let's just check it and see if we can log in. So with a netcat, we want to go to 55007. We'll say user Boris pass secret 1 exclamation, and it worked. So the question is, why couldn't we find that? Let's try that command one more time. User share word list fast track names. They didn't use the T20. That's one difference. They also didn't use the TAC-I flag. Let's try taking that away. We'll take away the T20. Just keep it simple. Put a space there. That might affect it, I'm not sure. Okay, let's try this again. So we changed up our syntax a little bit. And now we'll see if we can pull down secret 1 exclamation as Boris's password. Okay, so in the meantime, in this window here, let's clear it out. Let's just go ahead and log in. And the C comes up again. Several providers have implemented cracking protection. Check with a small word list first and stay legal. So maybe we're being blocked somehow. So let's, instead of checking all the names, let's just check for Boris only. See if it can pull down the password. So we're now using the same syntax, I believe, as this walkthrough on the left. They have attack F before the IP, and we don't. Not sure if that makes any difference. Attack F. let's try adding that in. Tac F space. This is still okay. So I I see a big problem here. We've got the wrong IP. Let's cancel that out. And let's edit that IP, put on the 37. Now it should work probably really quickly. Let's see. Can we pull it down? Netcat. Here. And then we want to do port 55007. We're going to be user Boris, pass, what was it? Password 1 exclamation. I think that was it. Secret 1 exclamation. User Boris, pass secret 1 exclamation. It should say OK in a second. Secret 1 exclamation. And we're logged in now. Let's so we're in a POP3 server. We want to just look up our POP3 commands so we can read some emails in here. All right, let's just pull down this one here. Stat, yeah, let's check stat. Looks like we have 3 messages. List. Whoops, list. We can list, okay. That shows the message number and the message size. And now we want to do retrieve, RETR 1. Okay. Boris, this is admin. You can electronically communicate to coworkers and students here. I'm not going to scan emails for security risks because I trust you and the other admins here. This is admin. So there's going to be an admin user probably. Let's add that to our notes. Boris, secret 1 exclamation. Other users, and we see mention of an admin. Okay, it did find a password that time. Cool. Let's go back to where we had the 3 names in the name list and put the correct IP. Good. And we'll run this now and see if we can get Xenia and Natalia's passwords. In the meantime, though, let's return 2. Natalia says, I can break your codes. Return 3. Let's see, what's this message about? Alec at janice.boss. What does he say? Boris, your cooperation with our syndicate will pay off big. Attached are the final access codes for Goldeneye. Place them in a hidden file within the root directory of this server and then remove from this email. There can only be one set of these access codes, and we need to secure them for the final execution. If they are retrieved and captured, our plan will crash and burn. Once Xenia gets access to the training site and becomes familiar with the Goldeneye terminal codes, we will push to our final stages. Keep security tight or we will be compromised. Okay, so the most interesting thing in there to me is that we have a hidden file within the root directory of this server. this is to Boris. So I don't see any attachments, so maybe they already deleted it and uploaded it to the server. Okay, I'll place that in our notes. And we see mention of an Alec at, what was it? Something.boss. Janice.boss. Whoops. We want to do Alec at Janice.boss. Okay. Let's check back on our Hydra. Did we crack any passwords? Not yet. We got Boris on the last one. Okay. So we do want to search now for some kind of access codes. We may need to look into some other users' emails before we're able to figure out a password. So it just pulled down Boris's password, which is great. So we know it's working. Let's wait a little longer for Xenia's password. What can you find on this service? Pop3. What can you find on this service? We found messages. Not sure what fits in these boxes though. Okay, let's do a quick Google just to grab our answers here. Dovecot Pop3. We knew that, but that doesn't fit either. DOVE Pop3. Yeah. So let's just search for Dovecot Pop3. Right, we already knew that. We knew that. Okay, mail time, yeah. We should get more passwords there. Telnet. Okay, which word is it? Okay, we got Natalia's password. Cool. So we can enumerate her email now too. So we'll say user, Natalia, password. Okay, back to our question. We already did those. Inspect port 55007. Okay, Hydra, we did that. We found Boris's password. Telnet. What service is configured to use this port? So the service is actually Telnet. Log in with that service. Okay, now we're Natalia. Let's do a bit of enumeration on her email. So we'll do list first. 2 messages, retrieve 1. Natalia, please, you need to stop breaking Boris's codes. Also, you are a GNO supervisor for training. I'll email you once a student is designated to you. Be cautious of possible network breaches. We have intel that Goldeneye is being sought after by a crime syndicate named Janice. Okay, that's interesting. So there might be a Janice username. Let's check on message 2. Let's see here. Creds. Okay, so we have creds here for Xenia. Let's read the whole message though. I have a new student and this is a new system. Please let me know if you see config, especially if it's security. Enter it, security. It'll get the change order escalated without much hassle. So there might be a vulnerability with the word security. We might need that later for privesc. So let's put that in our notes. And I'm just going to add here the creds. So credentials, we know Boris secret 1 exclamation. We know Natalia is bird. And now we have a Xenia. And what was it? RPC is the best. Something like that. RCP90 rules spelled wrong. RCP90 was the machine gun that fired like crazy in the old Nintendo 64 Bond game, Goldeneye. Okay, so we can go in now as Xenia, but let's just check and see if any more clues are here. Boris verified her as a valid contractor. If you don't have the URL on our internal domain, it is gno certdir. Make sure to edit your host file since you usually work remote off network. Since you're a Linux, just point @c hosts. Okay, so we'll add this whole address here into our @c hosts file. And any more passwords? Nothing else popped up yet. Okay. So we can, let's make a note of this too. Copy that whole thing with Control-Shift-C, and then we'll drop it into our notes. We'll just call this one hints. Okay, we're going to edit our @c hosts file now. We can do it down here. Let's see, vim @c hosts. And let's go all the way to the bottom. Looks like I have some old hosts in there. That's all right. Let's drop our new IP. Here's our target IP, space, and then we'll just do severnayastation.com. Exit :WQ for write and quit. And now we can try to resolve to this address here. Let's see if I can get it in here. Okay, severnayastation.com. And it works. And now we can access some kind of internal network at this address here. So we'll see what comes up. And then meanwhile, we can also try Xenia's password, Goldeneye. Cool, so we're into some kind of weird portal now. Looks like it's operated by Moodle. Let's check this course. Login. Let's try Xenia's creds here. RCP90 rules exclamation point. And we're in. Cool. So we're in as Xenia. Now let's go back a step and see what can you find on this service. Yeah, this one was tripping me up too. Okay, let's just peek at this walkthrough and see what it is. Using list, you can list messages, emails. Oh yeah, of course. Emails. Okay. And now we're ready for task 3. Enumeration really is key. Making notes and referring back to them can be life-saving. Okay, let's go on to getting a user shell. So this is kind of a walkthrough here. We already edited our etc hosts file. We're on Linux, so we're good. We browsed there. We used Xenia's credentials to log in. What other user can you find? Let's poke around a little more. Site pages, blogs, tasks, calendar. What's that? Breaking codes and spinning my pen. Admin user. So there is an admin, and we already made a note about that. Let's see. Messaging. Is there messaging in here? Okay. Let's check back on our Hydra and see if we cracked any other passwords. And we didn't. So let's try one more Hydra brute force. Actually, we don't want to do this on the POP3. We can check here to see if there's anything with Xenia. Whoops. User Xenia pass. And then that's going to be RCP 90 rules exclamation point. Let me just grab that here with Shift V and quotation plus Y to yank it. And we'll move that back up here. Okay, now we'll go back to the Hydra tab and let's paste that in. RCP 90 rules. And it doesn't work. Let's try logging out here as Xenia. And we know admin is, actually wait, it's a 4-character long one. Admin is 5 letters, right? ADMIN. So there's something else. Let's log in. So Xenia again, and then RCP 90 rules. There might be one other tag. I saw, let's see here, in the, my private files. No files. Messages. Oh, there's some messages here. Doke. Dr. Doke. Unread messages 1. Here we go. Doke. Thank you. Cheers. Doke the doctor. Wow, and we even get an address there. Okay. I'm just looking for any clues about Doke's password. I don't see anything obvious there. But let's add Doke to our users. And that's got to be the answer over here. Doke. And let's get a hint on that password. POP3 plus Hydra. Okay. So I guess this messages is probably linked to the POP3 on the back end. So back to Hydra. And let me grab, we'll quit out of here. Actually, we're not in a username right now. So we'll do user Doke, pass Doke. We know from this question that it's a 4-letter word or 4-character password. Okay, let's do another POP3 brute force. This time we'll just check for Doke's password, and we'll stick with the fast track for now. Let's see if we can grab his password quickly. And I'll be right back with a refill of my water. Hold tight here. All right, I'm back here, and let's just check our Hydra. Let's see if we cracked anything yet. Looks like we haven't yet. But we know it's a 4-letter password. Let's see. We can try a few here. Test. No. How about pass? No. Hey, we got it. Goat. His password is goat. Okay, let's make a note of that over here. Doke:goat. So that's going to be the answer here. And then we can log in over here. So we'll do user doke and pass goat. Let's get a list. We have one message, return 1, and we got some more creds. Let's see, James. If you're reading this, congrats, you've gotten this far. You know how tradecraft works, right? Let's add one more username there, James. James Bond. And let's see. Because I don't, go to our training site and log into my account. Dig until you can exfiltrate further information. And here we have a new credentials. Dr. Doke for England. Okay, I'm going to add that down here. Dr. Doke, : and then for England, exclamation. Capital E on the England. We'll just paste that in there. And let's go back to this portal. We'll log out here. Log in here. And over here, we'll put in the new username, Dr. Doke, and for England, exclamation. Don't save. Okay, now here, let's poke around and see what we can find. Messages. Maybe we have a private file too. We do, secret.txt for James. Let's check that one out. Okay, got something here. 007. And did I see one more thing there in messages? Offline contacts. Admin user. All messages. No messages. Okay, I think this is the main thing we're supposed to get here. Dual RCP90s. Okay. Something juicy is located at this directory. So yeah, if we were just dir-busting from a list, we probably wouldn't find this because it's so unique. But there's some kind of picture here. License to Kill is the only way to play. That was in the old school game. If you put it on License to Kill mode, one hit would end the opponent. So anyway, this app's admin creds through clear text. Text throughout most websites are scanned, so I cannot add credentials here, but there's something juicy there. So maybe we'll get some new creds over here. Let's see if we can put on that new directory. Yep. And what do we find? Dr. Doke, here it is. Good luck again. Picked up a lift access key. So I believe we're going to have to do some steganography here to extract something of interest from this JPEG. So let's save it. And we'll save it in our Goldeneye directory. Okay. And let me just, in the notes, jot down that we accessed a file here. And now we're going to try some steganography as our next step. Steganography. I think that's how you spell it. Okay. So we can clear this out. And we've got the image there. Let's try steghide. And we want to do extract and then SF for the file. And that's it. Passphrase. Okay, so it was dropping heavy hints in this message that RCP90, something about that, and then license to kill also. So let's just try this, RCP90, no, and let's try license to kill. And the only other thing I noticed was, and that doesn't work either, there was an email in here, dual RCP90s. Let's see if maybe that's the password here for the passphrase. It's not. Let's try just the first part of it. Dual RCP90s. Huh, and that's not it either. Okay, let's try just running steghide. Okay, what do we need there? We need something. You have to do info, embed, extract, or info. Okay, we'll do info. Try to get information about embedded data. We need a passphrase. He's from Croatia, maybe. No? Okay. So we need a way to extract a hash to access the hidden data. So let's search for that here. How to extract passphrase for steghide. And I think there might be like a JPEG to John or something like that. Steghide extract p passphrase. The question is, how can I get the passphrase to find the hidden message? Slap into binwalk just in case. Let's try that. Yeah, so binwalk is another utility we can use to look at hidden data. So let's try binwalk 4007. Shows that there's a TIFF image inside the JPEG. That might be normal though. On stegseek. So that's another utility, I guess. I haven't used that one before. Stegseek. Let's install it. Okay, it doesn't. It says I don't have enough space. Okay, we'll pause that for a moment. And let's try one more. Info. Okay, that doesn't help. So we're just searching for how to find the passphrase for extracting hidden data in an image file, in this case a JPEG file. All right, because of time, I'm just going to peek at the walkthrough and see how they got over this step. Using the users you have found, find other passwords. I guess we haven't tried all of the passwords yet. We could try recycling all of the found credentials into this passphrase. The RCP90 has been mentioned a lot. Let's just try that. Okay, info, yes, and then let's try is it RPC or RCP? RCP90. Nope. Okay. All right, we got into there. We found Xenia's messages. We got into Dokes. We got that one. We got the secret.txt. We found the juicy JPEG. EXIF tool. Ah. Okay. It suggests using the EXIF tool. We have to install that. Ah, man, and it says not enough free space. I did actually expand my VM's hard drive, but I had an issue where it says the allotted amount is different from the actual amount. So I thought it would expand dynamically, but I guess not. So for now, let's look at the EXIF tools results here on this walkthrough. And we found an image description. That's probably going to be base 64. Yep. Of the passphrase. So we'll echo that we'll pipe it into base 64 and tack D for decrypt. And here we have it. X winter 1995 X up exclamation point. Whoops. Let's get that one more time. Okay, so we got that from our EXIF tools metadata. Now let's, kind of silly that they put that in the description, but let's go ahead and get into this hidden data now. So we'll paste in that password. It says could not extract any data. Let's try now extract and then attack SF for the StegHide file. Put that in there. Could not extract data. So we did get this passphrase, and looking back at our users, we know there's an admin user we haven't gotten into yet. So let's try logging in. So we'll log out as Dr. Doak. And let's log in as admin. And now we're using the X winter 95X, whatever it was there. And we're in. So those credentials worked. Let me just update our list that's running here and :W to write to file. And let's see what we can find. So we've got participants. We're the admin now, so we can probably find everything out we need. Dr. Doak, admin, Xenia, Boris, Natalia. Okay, site blogs, notes, tags. Okay. Miscellaneous. Intro. And didn't I make a note about something hidden before? Hints. So hidden file within the root directory of this server. That might have been the JPEG that we found earlier. Okay, let's check back to our questions here. Doke, goat, more emails. What's the next user you can find? There's a doctor _ doke. The password, what was it? For England. Exclamation. Take a look at their files on Moodle. Download the attachments. We did that. Log in as admin. We did that. As this user has more privs, you're able to edit the Moodle settings. We can give a rev shell using Python and Netcat. Take a look into Aspell and the spell checker plugin. Okay, so let's look. We have some more settings here. Profile settings. Switch role to. Recent activity. Moodle docs. Admin user. Authenticated user on front page. No. Edit settings. Grades. Okay, let's go back to home. Okay, I want to find my Moodle settings. Site administration. It's probably going to be in here. Plugins. And then it says to check out the spell check plugin. Text editors. Filters, repositories. Maybe we can upload a file. Maybe. Server files. Web services. Reports. How about admin tools? Local plugins. Doesn't list anything. Admin tools. Let's see if there are tools here. There are some tools, but all we can do is delete them. Message outputs. A lot of stuff here, but we're going off of the hint that they gave us on TryHackMe. Take a look into Aspell, the spell checker plugin. I haven't been able to find that yet. Let's see. Users, permissions, accounts, courses, backups. So if I didn't have that hint, I'd be looking through all the stuff about uploads, seeing if I can upload a rev shell payload. But because I have that hint, I really want to find Aspell. No external tools. Blocks, message outputs, Jabber, email. Okay, authentication, enrollments, text editors, web services, reports, admin tools, local plugins. Maybe it's in security. No. Appearance. Nope. Nothing there. Servers, reports, and development. Let's search for Aspell. It's got to be in here somewhere. Path to Aspell. Okay, so it looks like we have an open path here that we can alter. It's sending a shell command to do a bunch of stuff. Let's see if we can just straight up hijack it. Okay, So let's see, we'll use shells to spin up a rev shell payload, and let's close that one out. We don't need updog. It's sending a shell command, so let's stay with bash as our rev shell type. And right, we need an IP. Let's check our IP. And I want to see if I need to, yeah, we'll add an hour just so it doesn't shut down while we're working on hacking. Okay, here we've got our IP for our attack machine. Let's paste that in here. And 443 is fine. We'll do normal format. And let's Erl encode. We'll do Erl encoded TCP. That's 4. And we can do a netcat and just keep it in this terminal. Close this one. And let's cut and paste now, right here. And we'll see if we can just send this right over here. Save changes. And let's see if we get a rev shell back here. Maybe we need to trigger it now by going to something, messages, or let's see. Notifications, my profile settings, site pages. Let's see if I take a note. Oh, there are no notes. How about blogs? Add a new entry. Let's see if I can trigger it now by hitting the spell check button. Where is it? It's going to be somewhere in here. Let's find and replace. Clean up messy code. Remove formatting, paste, text editor, background color, paragraph, indent, insert image. Here it is, spell checker. So it should be triggering the payload right now. And if this Erl encoded payload doesn't work, I'll try just the plain unencoded payload next. It looks like it's not working, so let's go back. I'm going to go back to search results. And let's cancel this shell out, and we'll create a new shells rev shell payload. So we can do n, and then we'll do bash. Okay, and then we've got here, whoops, we don't want that whole payload in there. Let's cancel that out. Shells, no. Bash, and then our attack box IP is right here. Copy that, paste it into there. 443 is fine. Normal format, and then we want to do no encoding this time. Okay, and then we'll do netcat and n for no to keep it in this terminal. Okay, now let's see. Next up, we want to copy this payload here. Okay, and we're going to go back down to settings, and we'll search for Aspel. Okay. Should pop up in just a moment here. And we can update our notes while we wait for that. So we've got our payload. We're on 443. Aspel is the plugin that we can hijack here. I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, but I am going to try and wrap this box up in the next few minutes if I can. Thanks for joining me. If you're just dropping in, we're on the final stages of this box, Goldeneye. You can get this on VulnHub or on TryHackMe. Okay, did that, and then we want to get in. Once we have shell access, we have to do some priv-esc or privilege escalation. Let's go ahead first and see if we can get back into the Aspel plugin. We might just have to log out first. I'm going to close some of these windows we don't need. Yeah, this is jammed, so I'm going to log out and log back in. I'll just close that out. Severnia Station. Admin server. What was that one? Let me check back here and see in our notes. Right. GNO certdir. There it is. So this is where we have our login page. I'm not sure why it's running so slowly right now. We should get a pop-up here in a moment. There might be an issue with this box because it shouldn't hang this long. So I may just restart it. But let's read our instructions while we're waiting here. So they're suggesting using a Linux priv checker to do some auto enumeration. You'll need to use wget. Your local machine is, here we go, it loaded. We're still admin user. Let's check for that Aspel plugin. Okay, we'll get back in, admin. Our password is, there it is. X uppercase W, winter, 1995, X, exclamation. Okay, don't save. We need to save that. Here's our path that we can hijack. And we have, let's see, do we have the server up and running? Actually, we don't need a server. I think all we need is our payload. So let's copy and paste. Okay, got that. Save our changes. Okay, changes saved. Now let's go back into my profile. We want to do blogs, add a new entry. Okay, now in here, there's a button here that triggers spell check. Let's trigger it and see if we get the rev shell right here. We should. So let's check and see if maybe we have a shell. Who am I? Nothing yet. Okay, we'll give it a second. And if this doesn't work, we might need a different payload. We tried Erl encoded payload, that didn't work. We might have to put up a simple FTP server, or HTTP server rather, to serve the payload. There are a couple of ways we could approach this. In the interest of time, though, let's just check a walkthrough real quick so we can move past this step. And I think I need to Google it because there aren't any actually connected to this. Let's see. Goldeneye walkthrough. And here's one from before. All right, let's go down to this part of the hack. Login. Yeah, we got it. We got it. We got that JPEG. We got the base 64 path to Aspel. That's what we need to inject. It looks like they're using a Python rev shell, which is fine. We can do that too. Yeah, so let's get out of shells for a moment and we'll go back in. Let's use a Python one this time. So option 4, and let's see. Nope, we don't have our IP anymore. Okay, let me get out of there. Let's go back in. No, option 4 for Python. Okay, bring up a new window, IPA to check our attack box's IP address. We'll copy and paste that up to here. Port 443 is fine. We'll do normal, and that shell should be fine. Should be fine. Let's stick with that, and we'll try with no encoding first. Okay, and netcat and N for no to keep it in this terminal. And here we have a long payload. So let's put that in now. Down here, Aspel. That should bring us back to the plugin. And it's hanging again. Let's try loading up from the base again. GNO certdir. Okay, I'm just going to copy our new payload down here. So we tried that. We also tried URL encoding. I didn't copy and paste it, but just for the record, we tried URL encoded bash rev shell and did not work. This one also didn't work. Let's try the Python 3 one. We'll see if we can do it and spawn a rev shell and then quickly do some privesc. Enumeration is key. Download. Oh, it gives us the exploit. Overlay FS exploit. It's very simple technically. We'll need to grab our kernel version once we get on the command line. Create new user and mount namespace. Mount an overlay FS using /bin as a lower file system. Overlay FS mount would only be visible within the user namespace. So let namespace process change CWD to overlay FS. Visible outside the namespace. Make SU on overlay FS world writable without changing the user. Let process outside user namespace write arbitrary content to the file. Set GID directory privilege escalation exploit. Continue or execute the modified SU binary. Okay, it says it's simple. That doesn't really seem simple to me, but that's okay. We don't have to fully understand the inner workings of an exploit to use it. But we do need to know that it's going to get us privilege escalation. So let's see, we're back into here. Let's search for, what was it, Aspel. And we're going to update this payload with a Python payload. Okay, we'll save the changes there. And just to check here, Let's see, where do we have that? Yep, so we're still running a netcat listener on 443. Changes have been saved. Let's go to our blog now. And in the blog, there's a little icon to click to trigger the spell check, and that will trigger the path, which is actually a command line process to spawn a rev shell. So I don't know why this is so slow, but let's go back. Oh, here we go. Add a new entry. And if everything goes to plan, we should get a rev shell now over here. So let's be patient, because it is a slow site. It really should work now though, because we've referenced a walkthrough just to speed things up a little bit. And let's see if our payload is actually the same. It might be slightly different. Let's see. Import socket, subprocess, So they're using a bin sh instead of a bin bash. That's one thing we could change if it doesn't work. And let's just check to see if sometimes you spawn a shell that is not very interactive, but it looks like it doesn't work. It's just hanging. So let's modify that payload, and we'll go back a few steps just so we can get into it more quickly. Okay, while we're waiting, let's load up we could use Linux priv checker, but we'll skip that for now. Let's go straight to the exploit. Overlay fs, let's download that exploit. It looks like it's a .c file. So all they did was uname A, and then they compile it, ID, and then they run it, and then their root. Okay, so that should be pretty easy. Okay, we've got access there. See if we can get back into our portal. And it's very slow. That's frustrating. I don't know why it's so slow. But we'll see when this finishes loading. And we'll modify that payload. So let's make a note here. I'll just copy it and paste it below. And the only change we're going to make is instead of bin bash, we're going to do bin shell. And we saw the initial path had a sh command, so that's a pretty good hint that it will work. Let's try reloading. And we'll keep these instructions here for us. There's also this Linux priv checker.py. It'll check for some common privesc pathways. We can run that too and see if the overlay fs pops up. Okay. Let's see. We want to do gno certdir. I'm tempted to restart the machine. It really shouldn't be hanging so much. Let's go ahead and do that. If this doesn't take like in another 20 seconds, I'm going to reset. Sometimes things get jammed if you've been working on something for a long time. Okay. All right. I am about ready to restart, so let's do that. Let's terminate the box, and we'll go in here. Now we need to wait 60 seconds for it to reset. And then we'll go here, but I'll have to update our Etsy hosts file with a new IP. So we'll get that going here in a minute. And you can see down in this small box, I'm modifying that IP. All right, so we'll have it soon. We can also download this Linux priv checker. Let's see. Let's go to the raw file. I'll just copy all, and we can put it, let's put it in our folder for Goldeneye. So say vim linux priv checker.py. I'll just paste all and then WQ to write and quit. Okay. Now, let's see, we'll have a new IP in just a few seconds. Hopefully this will get us through the final part of this hack so we can get to the root flag. We need to find the kernel version once we get in. And let's see, we have a new address now. So I'll update our hosts file, 144.3, and we'll escape :WQ to write and quit. Now let's navigate back to this address here. See if we can get in to Severnia Station. Not yet. Okay, let's cat Etsy hosts. 10.10.1.4.4.3. That looks correct. Maybe it just takes a second. Okay, it works when we type that, so something's not working with our Etsy hosts file. That's okay. Let's go ahead and check our notes. Here it is, gno cert dir. And this should take us back to the portal. So we do have to resolve it to Severnia Station. Oh, here we go. We're in. Let's log in as the admin. So our password is right here. So we're admin and xwinter 1995x exclamation point. That should get us in. Don't save the password. And let's grab our Python 3 payload here. And I changed the shell to sh instead of bash because bash didn't work. And we'll just :+y to yank that whole mess. Let's go search for Aspel, the plugin. Next, we'll hijack this path with the rev shell and we'll save our changes. And then once that says saved, let's go to the blog and we'll add a new entry. And we make sure we still have our netcat listening on 443, and we'll trigger it with the spell check button. This time it really should work. If it doesn't work this time, I may end the live stream for now and go back to my drawing board and then create a quicker walkthrough video for everybody. It's hanging. Let's check and see if we have anything. Who am I? Okay, no hits yet. So we'll keep an eye here, but let's check the walkthrough and see. They used a normal Python, not a Python 3. That could be an issue. Yep. So we're using Python 3. They're using just Python. That might be the issue. Keep an eye over there. Let's go back to our Aspel and we'll modify that path. we're very close to getting our foothold into the system on Goldeneye. Whenever I try to fire off a RevShell payload here, hijacking Aspel, it seems to freeze up the target machine. So something is happening on the back end, I believe, even though we're not seeing anything catch on our listener. Okay, let's see if we can go back to our search results. It doesn't have our search results. Let's check here. Okay. And just like last time, it's hanging here. So we have everything we need once we get our foothold to escalate our privileges using this NFS overlay exploit to get local root. Let's see what our last question is. Root flag. Okay. Let's go back to just the base. Okay, that works. GNO certdir. Let's see if we can log in again as admin. Still isn't letting me back in. Okay, I'm tempted to restart one last time. If this doesn't catch. Yep, so let's restart again. We'll terminate that one. We'll start a new instance. And we'll be back in 60 seconds. This is the frustrating part about CTF challenges and pen testing, is that you have to try things and just experiment until it works. And it can take a while sometimes. Lots of trial and error. Let's see if we can get back in. So I'm going to get ready to modify my etc hosts file one more time. All right. I for insert mode. And we'll have a new IP up and running here shortly. "20 seconds. And thanks for sticking with me if you're still on the stream. This has been a lengthy one. Okay, so we have a new IP. We'll do 19.57 and escape:WQ to write and quit. Let's cat it out just to check. 1957 looks good. Now let's use this address and see if we can resolve it. Okay, take that off. Okay. Seems the etc hosts is not activated right away. Maybe it takes a few seconds, or I might have to like restart my network services for it to work right away. Whoops. GNO certdir. Oh, maybe if I do take off the S. Right. I think that's it. So HTTPS doesn't go through the etc hosts, but HTTP does. So we'll log in again as admin, and then our password from our notes is X. What is it? X, and then winter, X winter 1995, X exclamation, Don't save. And we're in. Let's search for Aspel. And this time we're going to use our fourth payload. And the only change we're going to make is instead of Python 3, we'll just do Python. So it's possible this box doesn't respond to the Python 3 command. So we'll select all, delete it, paste that in. We're doing a Python without the 3, and we're using a bin sh for our shell. So we'll save changes. And over here on the Hydra tab, we still have the Netcat listener running on 443. So we've updated our path. Let's now go into our blog, and we'll create a new entry. And then once the button loads, we'll hit the spell check. That will trigger the payload and send us a rev shell right here. Now let's see if it works. Keep our fingers crossed. And nothing yet. It may still work, but let's see on the walkthrough which port did they use. They used port 1234. And what did we do? We did 443. So we need to update our IP as well. Did it change? Let's see. Our IP should be the same. 10.290.163. Yep, and 443 in theory should work, but we could change it. Okay. See if we catch it. I'll be back in a flash. We'll wait for a little bit longer. All right, we're back. Let's see what happened here. So do we have a reverse shell? Looks like we don't. So I'm going to exit out, and one more time, let's go into shells, and we'll start up a Python reverse shell. Here's our callback IP from our attack box. And this time we'll do port 1234. We'll keep the format normal. Which shell we're going to change to a bin shell. And then we'll use Python no encoding. Python 3. Okay, we'll use Python 3 no encoding. We'll stick with netcat and keep it in this terminal. Okay, and the only last modification is we're going to take the 3 off of the Python. So we'll drop it in our notes here. So it should be the same as the previous one, except that we've changed our port number. So we have it still here on the side. Let's go back into the Aspel path. And here we go. We can paste it in there. We'll take off that 3 from the Python, and let's save changes. It should say changes saved in just a moment. There it is. And we'll go to site pages and blogs. Add a new entry, and then we can just click here to fire off that payload. Let's see if we get a callback. ID, nothing. Okay, it's not working. So I would like to check and see what that the original entry said. It really shouldn't take that long. So let's go back in to Aspel, search. And we'll check the walkthrough one more time here. Yeah, that should work. Path to Aspel. If I trigger this code, it'll give me... Oh. Well, they use a different way to trigger it. Adjust the settings to make the code work. It's in text editors, TinyMCE. That may be where I'm going wrong, actually. Let's see. So we're in site administration, development, I think. Actually, maybe not. Front page, plugins, users. Let's see, where is that? Debugging, web service. Let's find where that was. It's in plugins, text editors. Okay, plugins, here it is, text editors, and this one. So I may have been triggering the payload incorrectly. Let's see, what do they do to it? Spell engine, spell language list. If you set the spell engine part to p spell shell, you can trigger the Python code you just used. Okay, so I was triggering it correctly, but we need to make one tweak to get it to actually read the line as code. So we'll go in now to our tiny MCE HTML editor. Let's let that load up. And it is slow, man. Very slow. We will overcome all of these technical issues. Okay, now it looks like it's thinking about it. Let's open it in a new tab. Okay, so once we see that one catch, we'll be ready. Let's go back into, yeah, we can actually stay here on this one. And we'll just keep an eye on this thing, bumping back and forth until it resolves. We've got our privesc enum tool, and we've got our privilege escalation tool right here. All we need to do is one more tweak here on the tiny MCE editor, catch that rev shell, privesc our way up to root, and grab the flag, and then we'll be done. So we've got our plan. We just need the box to cooperate. There we go. Okay, we got it. So it's right now it's Google Spell, but we want to use PS or P-spell shell. Save our changes. Okay, and then over here, we can trigger it. There we go. We got the shell. Who am I? www-data. Let's go into the temp. Okay, and we can stabilize the shell with let's see, we want to do Python tac c for command import pty.spawn, and then we'll do bin shell, and then we can get, oh, okay, that didn't work. Let's do bin bash, Python 3 import pty.spawn bin bash. There we go. So now we have, we should have a pretty interactive, stable shell. We're in the temp directory now. Let's create, actually let's use Vim to create a privesc.py. And I'm just going to grab it from our local box right here. We can cat out the Linux privilege checker, and I'm going to just cut and paste from here. I could go back. Let me actually go back to here just so I don't mess anything up. Copy all with Control A, Control C, then we'll Control Shift V to paste it all in, and then we'll do escape :WQ to write and quit. Okay, and it's not letting us out of there. Quit. Huh. And I'm stuck. I'm stuck here. Okay, and I cancel that out. Let's just spin up a new one. LNVP 1234. Go over here, and we'll pop that shell one more time. Okay, here we go. Should work. Weren't we on 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, we were. Oh man, we were so close. So close, so close. I didn't even need to do the regular. Let's go back into here, site blogs. Close that one out. Let's try just using one window at a time. Okay, we should be able to catch that rev shell over here, because we already updated that to PS spell shell, P spell shell. I want to make our way over to the blogs section. We're in as admin user right now. Thanks for sticking with me if you're still here in the live stream. We're in the final stages now of pwning the Goldeneye box on TryHackMe. We just need to get this site to respond. All right, so I'm going to, let's go over into our Goldeneye directory, and I'm going to spin up, we've got, let's see, do we have the, no, we don't. Let's copy over our exploit, downloads, and then we want to get that exploit. It's the .c one. 3.7. We'll copy that to here. And this is non-responsive, so let me go out a step. I'll close out this one. Okay, let's go back a step further, back to Severnia Station. See if we can get back to the Moodle portal. Still have plenty of time. Okay, we're attempting to connect back to the portal. We can close this out, or actually let's leave it open just so we can keep it for the command line. And right now we'll spin up a Python server here on quad 5s. Okay, and we're going to grab the privesc checker and also the privesc C code for overlay FS. And we're having trouble resolving is it GNO certdir. Okay, and continue on. See if we can resolve it to that address. And let's check our etc hosts file. Oops, we don't want to F, we want to R. So we already do have another terminal there. Let's cat out our etc hosts file. Severnia Station. Yep, we're at the right address. Just not resolving. Oh, is it the HTTP problem again? It must be. Okay, let's try HTTP Severnia Station GNO CertDir. Should work now. Let me try just to curl to that address and see if it gives me anything back. It does. Gives me a lot of stuff back, so it should be working here. Not sure why it's jammed up. Let's try, we still have our burp open from the last box. Let's try just using, we'll turn off our intercept, but let's use the Chromium, see if we can get in there. HTTP, and good, it's going in. So something funky is up with our Firefox on this Kali Linux distro. That's okay though. Let's just go ahead and log in. So we'll log in as admin, and our password from our notes is right here. Okay, so X winter 1995 X exclamation point, and now we're in as admin. We've already set the pathway as a reverse shell using Python without the 3, bin sh as our shell. And let's go into our blogs, and now we'll just add a new entry, and we still have our listener, hopefully, yep, listening on 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can spawn it now by doing the spell check. And who am I? We are www-data. Let's go into our temp folder, and now we can use wget, and we're going to grab that Linux privesc checker script. So we're on, let's see, this is our attack box IP, so we want to check there, and we've got our simple server down here on quad 5s. So let's go into there, :5555, and the file name is linuxprivchecker.py, right? So we'll just write that to here, and then Python and linuxprivchecker.py. We'll run it right here, and it grabbed a bunch of things. Users. It's printing out some file names. It's looking at the cron jobs. What else will it find? It's finding all kinds of stuff. Escalation vulnerabilities. File NS capable. Let's see. Finished. Okay, maybe this one. Oh no, it doesn't have that one. Okay, so let's look back at our instructions from TryHackMe. They give a few exploit ideas. One is this one, which I already downloaded, the kernel exploit 37292. Now, is that one listed here or not? Let's see. To this kernel version, kernel. So there is one kernel exploit here. Looks like it's a different one though. Let's see, more exploits. Let's just do a quick Control Shift F to find, and we'll search for this exploit, 37292. And it doesn't actually find that one, which is interesting. How about the word overlay, theme overlay? But no overlay FS. Okay, let's check our kernel version with the uname tac A, and it's 313 tac 32. Now we'll go back into here and we can just make a note of that. Let's see, that doesn't look long enough. I guess we need generic on there too. Okay, let's paste that in, submit. Now all we need is to exploit with this one, overlay FS, and let's start with just a wget http, and we'll put in our, let's put in actually wget http : 2// and we'll grab our attack box IP again. Let's put that in, and we're on quad 5s. Another slash, and the name, I titled it, oh yeah, still the same name from before, so we'll just cut that and paste it over here. Okay, that should copy, no problem. Now we need to compile it. So we'll do gcc, I'm just following the instructions from the exploit, space ofs.c. Let's see here. I think I might need to title it OFS, something different, because I don't have ofs.c. Yeah, let's go with our own name here, 37292.c, and then output we can call OFS. GCC is not found. Okay, let's try to compile it on our machine then. We'll use this command, and we'll paste that in. Warning, there were some warnings, but do we have the output? We do. All right, now let's copy that over with wget. And again, our attack box IP. Let's go back to that shell and quad 5s, one more, and then we'll bring that over just as OFS. Yeah, I need to spin up that server again, and we'll cut and paste that whole command. Okay, now we have it. Let's check our ID. We are www-data. Now let's run OFS. Okay, we need a chmod +x OFS. Now we can run OFS. It doesn't have the correct version of glibc. Okay, so that's going to trip us up for a minute. Let's see what we can do about that. Oh, did we really terminate? No way. Yeah, we're still running. Let's see, IPA. We're still running and we're good. $1957. Yep, we're good on that IP. Let's see if we have GCC here. Not found. What development tools are installed on the machine? Let's get a hint. You're only changing one character. GCC alternate develop development tools. GCC alternatives. So we must have some other development tool to compile with. Let's see what it is. Gradle, gulp, grunt. Gulp, grunt. Okay, not sure. ACC? Maybe ACC. No. It says change one letter. Tiny CC. Do we have that? Tiny CC. No. All right, I'm going to cheat one more time and check to see what people did. Let's see here. Ubuntu. Vulnerabilities. We found the file. We have it right here, 292.c. What did they do to compile it? There is no GCC editor. That's the problem we have right now. So we need to make a small change in the file. What's that change? CC. Is CC also? Okay, so CC is on our box. So let's vim into the 37292.c and we'll go ahead and modify. Oh man. The terminal is messed up. Let's see if we can use nano. Won't open it. Okay. We'll mod it on our own machine first. Let's vim into that file. Vim, and we want 37292, and let's see, I insert, and let's find where that says GCC. It's going to be in the lib equals line. Okay, let me stretch this out here. Lib equals open system. Lib equals system. Let me stretch it out a bit more so we can see it better. Okay, looking for ID equals, let's see. Lib equals system, here it is. GCC, so we'll take off that one character and then we'll write and quit. And let's move it so we have a more recognizable name. We'll call it rootme.c. Now we'll bring up our simple HTTP server again. Let's make this small just so it's easier to deal with, and we'll wget that HTTP. And here, let's see, we want to grab our IP again. Copy that, paste it. We're on quad 5s. And we're getting the rootme.c file. Okay, now we want to run it, I believe, just as, how did this work? We did GCC, right, GCC rootme.c, output, we'll just say rootme. Okay, we got some warnings, but we also have a rootme. So let's chmod plus x to make rootme executable, and now we'll run it. So ID, we are root. We're still on 33 www data, but we have root permissions. So we'll go to the root directory, root, and it should be right in here. Usually they're in here. Okay, it's not in here. Let's see, we're in the root directory. We're looking for a root.txt probably. We'll just say type is F for file, name is root.txt, and we'll send the errors to a dev null byte. Can't find it. Any hints here? Root flag. Okay, we'll try a find, type F, name, and we'll just say flag star. So flag anything after it. And again, dev null. And let's see here. Anything that looks like an actual flag. Flags.js. Nothing there. Okay, let's go into our home. And there are some other users. Let's check Boris. Is it a hidden file? Boris, vim info. No. Who's the other user? Doke. There's a mail. We can go in there. Nope, there's nothing there. Let's go into Natalia. Is there anything in her folder? Huh. Natalia. Not much. I guess there's something there. Let's cat that out. No? Is that a directory? That's a directory. Natalia. Whoops. All right. Man, I can't find it anywhere. Let's try find type F name, and we'll say root star for anything with a root in the name. There we go. There's one thing. rootme.c, that was us. Var mail root. Is that it? Boris. Command user bin shred. That's a weird thing to have there. Let's try catting that out. Okay, we've got some weird compiled file there. Let's get a hint, one character, and a hint on the root flag. It's located in the root user folder. I thought we looked there. Flag. Oh, there it is. It's a hidden file. Why didn't our flag catch that? I guess we weren't searching for hidden files? I don't know. I'll have to check that find command and make sure it includes hidden files. Anyway, we got our, we got an address to go to the flag. Man, this is a wild goose chase today. Okay, let's do this. Oh yeah, Severnia Station. And then we want to go to this 006 directory. Whoops. Let's see here. Can we still resolve? Good, we can. And flag captured. Congrats. Is the flag just star star star? What? Let's check the source code. You've captured it. Congrats. I guess it's just stars. Let's try entering that in. No. You've captured the codes. What? WebM, that's the video. Plays inline. JS. Golden. We still don't have the flag. Is it in here? No. Is it here? Root.txt? No. Flag? Maybe flag.txt? No. Man, we are so close. Captured. Congrats. You've captured the codes. Let's try this with the dots. Whoops, cancel that, delete that, and let's try that. Congrats. No, that's not it. Located in the root user folder. We found that. We got to this. Flag. But where is it? What? Okay, we're going to look at the final thing here. And ran the ls command. Hidden files, flag file. Okay, we did see that. Oh, here it is. The place the codes here. That's the flag. So that was just a little Easter egg at the end, I guess. Okay, we had it the whole time. Let's finish this off. I want to delete that. Delete those, and sweet. So we finished it. It only took 3 hours, but we got it. That was, I think that was not the best box. There were a lot of clues that led to kind of wild goose chases. You could figure out the logic, but this one was more gamified and less like a pen test, more of just a fun romp around, you know, the characters and the places from that Goldeneye movie. So, anyway, let's end our live stream. We've been here long enough. If you stuck with me this whole time, thank you very much. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more full-length CTF walkthrough videos and other topics on ethical hacking and pen testing. So that's it for today. We'll catch you next time. Bye.